What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I thought I'd make a video on some of the possible card combinations for the Lightside heroes, since we are obviously getting some new cards at the end of this month when Health on Kill becomes passive, meaning pretty much every hero in the game is going to be able to use different card combinations without needing the Health on Kill card. I haven't covered the cards in a video yet, but as we go through each character I will touch on their new card as well as the cards that I think I'll end up running after the update. Now, these are all just my own personal choices, so these are by no means the only cards to choose. It all comes down to playstyle and skill level and a bunch of different factors like that, but I thought I'd just make these videos in advance of the update so that at least there is a starting place for any of you who are a little bit unsure. The other thing to remember is that we haven't got our hands on the cards yet, and so this entire video is more of a guessing game than anything. I'm confident that I will use these cards that I'm going to mention, but without actually testing the combinations for myself, there's no way that I can actually tell if these will or won't work, so just make sure to keep that in mind. Again, these are only the Lightside characters in this video, as it would have been far too long to do all 20 characters, so exactly a week after this video I will upload a villain star card video as well. There are upwards of 40 cards that I'm going to go through in this video, so I will try and get through them all as quick as possible. If you want some more detailed breakdowns of each card, then I have covered most of them in detail in my hero guides, but for the sake of saving some time I will just get through them as fast as possible for today. So starting off with Luke, his new card is going to be called Intensify, and the description reads, every trooper defeated or 200 damage to heroes increases Luke Skywalker's lightsaber damage by 2 to a maximum. This effect resets after Luke is defeated. So what I take from this card is essentially each kill your saber damage is going to increase by 2, and where it says to a maximum, that means that there will be a cap on it. Otherwise, if you got a 50 kill streak, you'd be dealing about 230 damage per swing, which is obviously super overpowered. This card actually sounds really decent. Pretty much once you have a 10 kill streak with Luke, you're going to be able to one-hit kill all classes other than the heavy, so that definitely sounds like a great card to me. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are his new Intensify card, his Jedi Reflexes card which gives him the added rush attack, and his extended push reach card that increases his area of effect for the force push, which is really useful since it's a one-hit kill ability. As for heroes vs villains, the cards that I'll most likely run are the Jedi Reflexes card again for that extra rush, and then probably both his force push cards which will increase both the area of effect and the push distance, or depending on the map I might use his Jedi Fighter card which increases his stamina. So those are all the cards that I think will be a great fit for Luke after the update. Moving on now to Leia, and her new card is going to be called Stay Together, and the description reads, if she's within 15 meters of 2 friendly units, Leia and her close allies will take reduced damage. Now this one could go either way because we don't know exactly how much damage reduction the card will give us. If it's something like 8% like Yoda's card, then it might not really be worth it, but if it's up towards 15, 20% or even higher, then this card would be a really decent card to use, so we'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are her High Spirit card which gives her an extra 100 health regen, her Blinding Reveal card which reveals enemies for up to 5 seconds when you hit them with the Flash Grenade, and then either the new star card called Stay Together or probably the Relentless Firing card which allows her to use the Rapid Fire ability for a longer period. As for heroes vs villains, I'd probably keep the exact same cards as GA, but just replace the Blinding Reveal card with the Laser Brain card which can help a lot against block spammers. Moving on now to Han Solo, and his new card is going to be called Smuggler's Wits, and it reads, Han Solo gains an extra dodge ability charge but all cooldowns are increased. I'm not going to lie, this one sounds kinda useless to me, at least in Galactic Assault anyway. It might be really useful in HVV so that you can pretty much be a scummy roll spammer, but overall I'm not really a fan of his ability cooldowns being longer than they already are. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are Broad Shoulders, which lets you take less damage when using Shoulder Charge, Heavily Modified Blaster, which just reduces the DL44's heat buildup, and then the Airburst card, which increases the Detonite charge damage if it explodes before hitting a surface. As for heroes vs villains, I'll probably use those same star cards, but I might actually replace one of them with the new Smuggler's Wits card depending on how it goes. As annoying as roll spammers are, it's really the only way to survive in a 1v1 with a Saber hero, and so I'll see how it goes, but it might actually be worth using that one for HVV. Next up we have Chewie, and his new card is going to be called Impervious, and it reads, every time Chewbacca deals a threshold of 200 combined damage with any ability, he gains 2% damage reduction to a maximum. This effect resets after Chewie is defeated. Now this one is kinda hard to tell whether it's going to be worth it or not. It's unclear how exactly it'll work. For example, if you use Furious Bowcaster and deal 200 damage to a heavy, you'll get 2% damage reduction, but then if you shoot another enemy and deal 200 more damage, does that give another 2% damage reduction, or is it just only once per ability? It is kinda hard to tell from the description, and so I will have to figure this one out once it actually arrives, but it could be really decent or it could kinda suck, so as of right now I'm not really too sure. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are the bonus health card, the Echoing Roar card, which increases Furious Bowcaster's length with each kill, and then the Furious Resilience card, which gives damage reduction while that ability is active. As for heroes vs villains, I'm most likely going to use the bonus health card, the Furious Resilience card, and then the extended shot card, which increases the stun time of the stun grenade. Moving on to Lando now, and his new card is going to be called Buckle Up Baby, and it reads, every enemy trooper defeated or 100 damage to villains reduces the heat per shot of Lando's X8 Night Sniper permanently by 2% to a maximum. This effect resets when Lando is defeated. Now, I'm not going to lie, this one does not sound great at all. Lando's heat build-up has never really been an issue in my opinion, and so I don't think this one is going to be worth it at all, but I could be wrong on that, so I will definitely have to check it out as well. Once the update drops, I'm actually going to be making a Mythbusters video covering all 19 of the new cards and seeing if they're worth it or not, so this one will definitely be very interesting to test out. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are the Hot and Cold card, which gives Lando 150 extra health, which is a must-have card for Lando, and then I'll most likely pair both of his Sharpshot cards together to make that ability even more deadly. The first one is Maximised Efficiency, which makes it so that if you hit 3 or more targets with Sharpshot, it drastically reduces its cooldown time for the next use, and then the Wide-Eyed card, which makes it so that you can actually lock onto enemies at a longer range, and these two combined are a match made in heaven. As for heroes vs villains, I'll most likely use Hot and Cold again, as well as the Wide-Eyed card to increase that Sharpshot range, and then the Quick Shock Star card, which increases the duration of his stun by about 30%. Next up we have Rey, and her new card is going to be called Balance, and it reads, Rey gains an extra dodge ability but her stamina drains faster. Now this one could be amazing or it could absolutely suck, it all depends on how much it affects the stamina drain, and so again I'm going to have to test this one out, but I'm probably leaning more towards not using it. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are her Damaging Strike card, which gives extra damage on her dash strikes, allowing for a one-hit kill. The Focus Sight card, which allows Insight to last for up to 7 seconds longer, which is way more useful than it sounds. And then I think I might actually go with her Street Fighter card, which actually reduces the stamina drain when she swings her saber. As for heroes vs villains, I'll probably run the same, but instead I'll replace the Damaging Strike card with the Strong Mind card instead, which increases the area of effect for her Mind Trick ability. Moving on to Yoda, his new card is going to be called Size Matters Not, and it reads, when the bonus health of presence depletes, it heals for some of the damage it prevented, but its cooldown is increased by 13 seconds. Not gonna lie, I have absolutely no idea what that even means. Not gonna sit here and pretend like I know, so I'm just gonna test this one out when it arrives, but as of reading that, I genuinely do not know what that even means. So let me know if you have an idea, because it's not the first card description in the game that makes absolutely no sense at all. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are his Agility card, which allows for an extra dash attack, and then I think I'll actually stock up on his Presence ability and equip 2 cards for that, one being the Enduring Presence card, which increases its active time, and then the other being Fuel the Force, which gives him another 60 HP when you're activated, boosting him all the way up to a whopping 960 HP. As for heroes vs villains, I'll probably run the same cards, except I'll replace the Enduring Presence card with his Opposing the Darkness card instead, as this one gives an extra 12 damage per saber attack on an enemy villain, which is obviously perfect for heroes vs villains. Moving on to Finn, and his new card is going to be called In Charge, and it reads, during Undercover Team, Finn will grant a damage reduction of 2% for each trooper defeated, or 100 damage to villains to a maximum to all friendlies affected. This bonus stays for the next use of the ability, but resets when Finn is defeated. Now, that one is an absolute mouthful, and honestly, it doesn't even sound very good to me anyway, so I doubt I'll end up using this one, although, like I said, I'll definitely be testing all of these anyway, and seeing exactly whether they are in fact worth it or not. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are all 3 of his Deadeye cards, which are Stay Calm, which extends the duration for every kill with it, the Raise to Do One Thing card, which gives it a larger lock-on radius, and the No More Running card, which gives it a slight damage buff after 3 kills. However, I actually think the card is bugged to where it actually just deals that extra damage straight away. Now, I personally don't even use Deadeye all that often in Galactic Assault anyway. For me, it's more of a backup ability, but his other cards just aren't that great, and these cards together are going to make it so much more powerful, which is great for the ability since it's obviously super helpful for getting out of sticky situations. As for heroes vs villains, I'll most likely stick to these 3 cards as well, so nothing to change for this one. Moving on to Obi-Wan, and his new card is going to be called Safeguard, and it reads, after blocking 10 blaster shots, 2 abilities or lightsaber attacks with his block, Obi-Wan gains a permanent reduction of 2% to all his stamina costs to a maximum. This effect resets when Obi-Wan is defeated. Now this one does actually sound really useful, but it all comes down to what the maximum reduction is, because he actually already has a card that reduces his stamina by 40%, so it essentially needs to be higher than 40% or else it really won't be worth using unless you do want to just stack those both together. After the update, the cards that I'll most likely run for Galactic Assault are his Jedi Resilience card that gives him extra health regen, the Forward card that allows for a one-hit kill with his defensive rush ability, and then the Perfect Defense card, which is the one that I just mentioned about reducing the stamina drain by 40%. As for heroes vs villains, I'll most likely keep the same build but replace the Forward card with the new card, which means his stamina is going to be absolutely mental when you stack it with the other stamina card, or if it isn't worth it then I'll use the Think It Over card, which increases the duration of his mind trick. Now lastly we have Anakin. His new card is going to be called Steamroll, and it reads, every enemy trooper defeated or 200 damage to villains decreases all of Anakin Skywalker's stamina cost by 2% to a maximum. This effect resets after Anakin is defeated. This one sounds okay I guess, but I think he has better cards to use anyway, so I probably won't recommend using this one. Now, I don't play Anakin at all, so I'm not going to use any star cards for him after the update, but if I were to use him, I'd probably use the Tenacious card that gives him extra base health, the Massive Strikes card that increases his damage, and the Attraction card that increases the pull distance. As for heroes vs villains, I'd probably recommend these same cards again. Like I said, I haven't played Anakin since about March, so these might not be the best card choices, but I'm sure any big brain Anakin mains out there can figure out some good star card combos anyway. So that is it for all of the Lightside heroes and their new cards and combinations, guys. Like I said, as of right now, it is just kind of a guessing game because we just don't know how good or bad these cards are going to be just yet. But I'm fairly certain that most of the cards I mentioned will most likely be my main choices nonetheless. If this video did help you guys out, then make sure to smash that like button to help support the channel, and like I said, exactly a week from now there will be a villains version of this video as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. Also, like I mentioned, the day that the update drops, which is the 28th of August, I am going to be putting out a Mythbusters video straight away, pretty much just showing every single card in action, showing what exactly they do and whether or not they're worth it, so keep your eyes peeled for that one because I'm sure some of you guys are just as confused or interested as I am about these new star cards. If you are new to the channel, then feel free to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any more Battlefront 2 videos or live streams. Thank you all so much for watching, you guys have a great day and I'll catch you all in the next one.
The strongest defense is a swift and decisive offense.